on day 13 right now, and I want to talk a little bit about business today because there's so many things about business that I learn every single day because I do it every single day. Let's move this a little bit closer. A little bit closer there. I love making content, and the reason I love making content so much is because if you are consistent and do it every single day, you get results. And I do it every single day. It's tough doing it every day, though. A lot of people can't do it every single day. They're not willing to take the risks and deal with negative people who criticize you, call you all kinds of names. But I don't care because I'm looking at the gold. I'm looking at the end result because that's all that matters in the end. Now, one thing, there's so many things you can do in business that can make your business more successful. And one is ads. You can run ads. You can make content. So you can do ads. You can do content. You can do outreach. You can do AI outreach. There's all kinds of stuff that you can do. And I love doing all of it. That's the way that you can continually improve is by doing all those things. So you can even take that and you can there's some similarities to business and dating I've found, but there's also a lot of differences. And, with women, with the dating apps, you can say the same kind of stuff. You can say similar things. And women generally respond similarly because there's only so many patterns that work whenever you're speaking with someone. There's only so many things that are interesting to women. Women like stuff that is relatable. So what's relatable is travel. Girls love traveling. Most guys don't really care if the woman has traveled, where she's been to. They probably prefer that she didn't travel. Most men prefer that. But if you talk about it for a little bit and you say about places you've been to and you ask her where she's been to, where she might want to go to in the future, that's pretty attractive because it's interesting. You're not there. Your mind has gone to all these travel places that you'd like to go. And that can be kind of fun. Women like talking about, if you talk about family, see, the reason why family is such a great topic is because it makes you feel like you're getting to know them. And you get to know them, you ask about family. I talk about my family a little bit, not a whole lot, just a small amount. And then I ask them about their family. And we talk about, who's who. And then if they live close to me, I might know one of their family members. I might not. But that's a great topic. Sometimes talking about fitness, exercise, meditation, yoga, those types of topics are so much fun because that's what women like talking about. And you don't always have to talk. You can have a little pause here and there. You can be a little quiet at times. And that's the key too, is you don't have to always go boom, 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 boom. Sometimes take a few steps back, relax. And that's how you can really win people over, is by doing that. And consistency, if you're going to get good at the dating apps, do it every day. And you don't need hours and hours. Just spend 20 minutes on it every day. If you're going to go out, just go out every day. And you don't need to do it for endless periods of time. Just go out a little bit every day. But tonight I'm going to be going out for a long period of time. Yesterday I was out for I'd say about 3 hours. I talked to a lot of people because there was an event that occurred that was a family event, and I went and I talked to a lot of people. So I'll be talking to a lot of people tonight, and I'll be playing my favorite game, which is pool. And I always enjoy playing that. And that's how it works. That's basically how it works. I love these sunglasses because, you know who wore these? It's a secret. But I'll tell you, Kurt Cobain wore these. Yeah, Kurt Cobain. And I think I just think of him when I wear them. And he took over the world with his music. And ever since he took over the world with his music, I don't think anybody quite has taken over the world the same way that he has. There's musicians that people love, and they think the musician's amazing. But I don't think it's been about 30 years since somebody like him has completely taken over the world in regards to music. It happened in the 90s and it happened in the 60s. And it might happen again. It just might happen again. And it happened in the 60s. See, I don't usually talk about this kind of stuff with women. Women don't find this kind of stuff interesting. But if I'm talking with somebody who likes this kind of stuff, and I'm maybe at a bar talking to some kind of dude, yeah, I might bring this up. But generally, I'm not going to bring these kinds of topics up. So you also got to know what topics to bring up, when to bring them up, when not to bring them up. And going down more of that rabbit hole is changing topics. There used to be a theory, and it was this really interesting thing, and it worked really well many years ago, and it was made by Mystery, and he called it multiple threading. And he said, you bring up a topic, and then you can bring up another topic. Then you can go back to the first topic. But you don't always want to go back. I think now, in today's world, it's actually better to never go back to your topic that you had previously if you're cutting a thread and you're going to something else, because it's boring. It's so boring if you're talking and you just, well, I want to go back to this. Oh, let's go back to this. So, and I was doing it a little bit a few days ago, but now I'm just completely trying to remove that. And an example is, say you can be talking with anybody, you're speaking and about any subject, and someone cuts you off and they go, this is what they say, oh, what were you saying? Oh, what were you talking about? And that is the key moment to talk about something completely different. And because it catches them off guard, they're like, whoa, and you're going somewhere else. And I'll say something like, that reminds me of something. These are called, I think they're called open hoops or something like that. And there's a guy by the name of Juggler. He has a book. He wrote a few books. They're pretty good. They might be a little bit outdated now. And it's conversational jujitsu was one of them, is what he wrote. And it was pretty good. I remember reading it. I don't know if it's worth a full read nowadays. It might be. But yeah, open hoops. So you say something like, that reminds me of something. Or you say, I have a secret I have to say. Or I have a confession I have to make. And you pause. You don't pause for a long period of time, but you pause just for a few seconds. And then the other person says, what's that? They give interest by asking the question. They go, what's that? And then you answer. But it's almost like they put a few chips in. Not everything, but they just put a few in. They go, oh, what's that? Because they jumped in. And some people do it back to you. They'll do like, oh, yeah, that reminded me of something the other day. And the key thing, if you're very social, is to not say what everybody else says, because they'll say, what's that? You can say anything but what's that. You can say something where it's a direct statement like, oh, go ahead. I'm interested. Tell me. As long as you're not saying, what's that? Because if you're tempted to say it, it might cross your mind too. It's just right there. But there's so many things that, well, I guess there's just so many patterns. There's so many patterns and things you notice, but there's only so much. Like, if you look at paintings in a museum and you stare at them and you go, ooh, look at that. There's only so many colors. There's only so many angles. So you will see patterns, even in talking, even in having conversations with women. So no matter what you're doing, if you're getting out, if you want to build a social circle, you'll see patterns. And like I said in my other video, I love social circle and the idea of becoming famous on the internet. I read Dan Bilzerian's book, The Setup. I read that maybe last year, and that was a cool fucking book, because no one in the dating community talks about being famous from the internet. Nobody talks about it. And a lot of the old school guys, they used to talk negatively about it, but actually it makes you more famous, because can you name 5, can you name 10 musicians that you really like and their names? And do you know what they look like even? Most people don't even know anymore. Or actors. Can you name them? Can you actually name like 10 actors and visualize them? who are famous right now. Most people can't. Most people can't do that. They can't name the singers. They can't name the actors. It's all about the internet. It's all this is right now. So you can master it. It's going to be tough though. The hardest thing for me so far, making content every day, has really been finding the right time slot to do it, going in and doing it, and then dealing with negative people who are just jealous, basically. So can you find that time every day, do that recording on whatever business that you're doing, and on the top of that, can you deal with people just saying ignorant stuff who don't care, who will never meet you, or if they do meet you, they'll probably treat you exactly the opposite? Can you deal with those things? Most people can't deal with those things. Most people can't deal with hate. But if you can, and you do it every day, what you're doing is you're building a very positive habit. Now, I will say this because I like the guy so much. His name is Tai Lopez, and I like some of the stuff that he says. He does look, I'm not going to lie, a little bit nerdy, but I like some of the stuff that he says. He said there's 3 things that you need to focus on if you want to be successful in business in 2025. And those 3 things are, number 1 is actually knowledge, he said. That's the most important thing. And the other 2 are AI, which I'm using a lot of. You should be using AI too. And the third one is you just using social media to build your brand. Those are the 3 things. Focus on them. Are you using them every day? Because I'm using them every day. So use them every day. And those can be 3 of your pillars. You want pillars in whatever you're doing. If that's business, like if it's dating, you can have pillars too. I have multiple pillars as well. Like you could have, if you're talking to girls on dating apps, that can be a pillar. If you're going out and if you're doing a cold approach, that could be a pillar. And if you're building a social circle, that can be a pillar too. That way, if something happens, like say whatever happens, you get shadow banned, or you didn't even do anything wrong. Like maybe you just matched with a girl, or maybe she didn't like your picture, or you said something that wasn't even bad. Like you said something like, you look like a sexy type of Latina chick, and she got really offended by that. Even though you matched on a dating app, everything was fine. She might not like you, or something might have happened and she wants to take it out on you. Same with business. People can be like that. And you can't take that kind of stuff personally. People take stuff personally if you get rejected by a girl, or somebody doesn't want me on their podcast and they're trying to take it out on me because they're in a bad mood. All you say is, I learned this from, his name's Arno, and he says, all you say is, thanks for your response. Hope you have a great day. That's it. And you just do something else. There's billions of people on earth, and there's millions and millions of women by where you live. Even if you live in a small town, if you drive a short distance, there's going to be lots of beautiful women. And work on your looks. Work on how you present yourself, and great things will happen if you're consistent. My free ebook is below, so just click that. Just go to joresults.com. That's all you got to go to. JO-results. J-O, not number, but O. And then you can get my free ebook. And if you like it, you can join my community, which is only $27. Basically the price of a meal for 2 people. If you're getting a cheap meal, if you're getting a half-decent meal for 1 person, it's a meal for 1 person. And that's all it is. I have a lot of courses in there. I'm on there every single day. And I continue to upload more and more courses, and it's monthly. So if you like it, you can stay. If you don't, you can say, I don't like it, I'll go do something else. And I talk to every person that joins, and I help them, and I do everything in my power to help them. Woo!